Yeah, just a couple of quick questions from me. Obviously, disappointment last time around. It must have been, I don't know, with the run that you've been on, has it been difficult assessing that defeat and looking to bounce back this week, considering that run you've been on?
I don't think it's been difficult. I think it's part of the process and part of the journey that we're on. Whether you win, lose or draw, there's always something to learn from the game, and obviously we were disappointed with the manner that the defeat happened. I think we've set the bar really high in recent weeks, and we certainly feel like as a group collectively that we underperformed.
Like you say, that bar has been set really high, hasn't it? Which is a strong indicator of how far you've come. Yeah,
and that's the standards that we have to be attained to be successful in this league. So it certainly gives the group motivation to go on another run to see where it can take us.
And in terms of bouncing back from that, a really sort of tantalising one on Sunday, isn't it? Top versus second.
Yeah, it's a big game. It's obviously been set up nicely with the positions that we both are in the league, playing at a nice stadium at the Valley. So yeah, it's both teams are certainly going to want to win the game, because whoever does win it, it'll come out on top.
Do you think it's easier to come back off a defeat and have something, playing maybe someone that's doing just as well as yourselves, rather than maybe a team that's sort of mid-table or is perhaps struggling?
I don't know. I think maybe the opposition's probably irrelevant. I think we have to see what type of group we now have to see what the character is like, and make sure that they're fully focused going into the game, and they're certainly motivated to rectify the performances that we've seen previous to Sunday. So hopefully it'll come together again, and we'll take all 3 points.
Fantastic. Best luck, Mel. Cheers for that.
Cheers.
Hi, Mel. You all right?
Hi, James. Hang on, there's something on the screen for you. Do you want to click it? There you go.
Happy days. I'll just record this my end.
Recording in progress.
Happy days. So how's the mood been in camp? Obviously a little bit disappointed, but have they been sort of chomping at the bit to sort of right the wrong?
Yeah, I think we give ourselves 24 hours to kind of mull over it and maybe feel sorry for ourselves, and then it's a case of it's gone. In the full focus is now on Charlton. We went on a fantastic run with some huge results and huge performances, and I think I said after the game we were never going to go the full season undefeated. There was always going to be a banana skin at some point in the wars on Sunday against Blackburn, and although it was a defeat, it was the way that we were defeated. It felt like, I think you can accept defeat if you've chucked the kitchen sink and you've performed to really high levels, but we felt like our performance levels is certainly below par, so I think that was the most disappointing thing.
10 games in's a good barometer to sort of take stock. Obviously been a fantastic start of the season. What do you think this team can achieve based on that first start?
I think if we can replicate what we've done in the first 10 games in the next 10 games, then we're going to be pretty close. But again, going off Sundays on any given day, if we don't perform to the levels, then ultimately that's what can happen. So again, we just have to take it one game at a time and make sure that we're fully present for that game and that we're able to hit the levels that is needed to get something from it. So we've got 2 league games before Christmas, and then the 2 tough league games as well, by the way, Charlton and Birmingham, with an FA Cup tie in there and another Conti Cup. So 4 games before Christmas, and then like you say, we'll take stock in January and see where we're at, and hopefully can go on another good run in the new year as well.
You mentioned sort of taking one game at a time, but do you have a sort of specific goal as a group at the moment? Is it something that's been talked about, sort of replicating that form, or is it very much just take it as it comes? Yeah,
we're just very much in the here and now, and I think if you start putting targets, then that becomes a very much an internal pressure, and the internal target is win the next game. And if we keep doing that, them short-term goals, ultimately we will be up there come the end of the season. Was it the ambition at the beginning to go and win the league? Probably not. But we've done all the right things in the summer, and we're doing all the right things currently, and ultimately that gets you good results. So we just need to keep sticking to our processes and seeing where it takes us.
You threw ahead to the Birmingham game there after the Charlton game, a reunion with Neve Heron, obviously, who left the club in the summer and has gone on to do well for Birmingham there.
Yeah, they've picked up some good results in recent weeks. Probably a late burner. They probably didn't have the start that they wanted, but they're a good side. Darren's got a good squad of players there, lots of experience, and I'm sure they'll be up there come the end of the season as well.
Great, thanks, Mel.
No worries.
Simon?
Recording stopped.
Mel, I suppose it's an old coaching cliche in a way, but do you feel that you can sometimes learn as much from a defeat as you can from a victory?
I think so. I think you learn a lot about your players as well. Everyone likes to, the saying is sing when you're winning, isn't it? Everyone likes to be loud and fully present, but ultimately when there's a defeat happens, you learn about the characters in the team. And it's about taking feedback, to having that self-awareness and that self-reflection is so important as an athlete. I think that makes you better. If you can identify what you haven't done wrong in order to help yourself and stretch yourself again, then I think that's a sign of good players, and they've certainly had some good reflections this week with all the coaching team. We've sat down with individuals, everyone who played, everyone in the whole squad's had a 30-minute conversation with some coach this week. And it's good just to chew the fat sometimes and get to know how they felt. A little bit of feedback from us, a little bit of feedback from them, and trying to get that fire again burning to go down to the valley and make them perform to a high standard again.
Yeah, touched on it there, but have you and the staff seen what you hope to see this week after a defeat?
Yeah. We had a tough year last year with a lot of defeats, and it's hard, but this is just one defeat after a magnificent run that this team's been on, and it's important not to get too deflated, too down in the dumps about one loss. It's all about the reaction and a positive performance on Sunday.
Exactly. First defeat of the season, so far into the season. The mood, it shouldn't affect the mood too much, should it?
No, it shouldn't. I think there's disappointment initially in that first period, that first maybe 1 or 2 days, but you have to park it and you have to move on very quickly, because you have to almost tune yourself in again to what you need to do and how you need to get to them levels to perform.
Obviously Sunday is the dictionary definition of a top of the table clash. How exciting is it just to be part of a top of the table clash?
Yeah, it's good that I think every game's tough. I say it, like, the teams in this division they're all competitive, and I know Karen really well down at Charlton, and I think we've burnt her a couple of times when we been there in the past, and we've took points. So she'll certainly be trying to make sure her team's fully prepared for the visit of us, and likewise, we're doing our homework and coming up with a plan to try and take something off them.
So, that was going to be my next question, is what do you think of them? Obviously, they now sit at the top of the table. They're obviously having a great season as well. What threats do they pose? Yeah,
Karen's built a very good squad. Very good result last week against, beating a good Southampton side 2-0. That's difficult to do, as we know. We went down there and won 1-0. So, we've both got good squads. She's got good individual players, and it's certainly going to be a good watch.
And just, you've spoken before that you like the character of the group that you've got this season. Are you sensing that, we didn't like that, let's go and put this right this weekend type feeling? Absolutely.
We've worked really hard on the culture and the togetherness of the team, and I think you see that more than ever when things don't go your way. There's almost a huge motivation to put it right quite quickly. So they've trained really well over the last couple of days, and we've got a couple of more sessions before we travel on Saturday. So I'm sure the team will be chomping at the bit to get going on Sunday.